Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. I'm standing just off the Leicester River Road up from Superior Street, continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162 and we have now worked our way up to park number 9 at 251.1 acres. It is the Leicester Park Golf Course. And this one has been under some heightened scrutiny lately. It may not be a park for long, as Monday the City Council voted to transfer the property to the Duluth Economic Development Authority and in preparation for development. And I wish that breeze would stop because it never sounds too great on the mic. This course has been closed for a couple years now. The city closed it due to lack of funds and transferred, and now only has the Anger Park golf course, which they then put a lot of money into to upgrade the irrigation systems and do other things. So this course has been closed for a while. A lot of people wish it remained open as a golf course. There's a lot of controversy over that. And now there's a lot of controversy over this transfer to DEDA for development. A lot of people think that due to my affinity for trails and green space that I would automatically be against transferring this. I'm actually ambivalent about it personally. I was trying to figure out why, and I think it's just because to me this has always been a golf course. I've never considered it green space or place to hike or anything. This is actually the first time I've ever been on it. So when I hear a proposal to transfer the land for some kind of probably housing development, it's all the same to me, really. Golf course, housing development. And Duluth does need housing. So anyhow, I'm just kind of personally just letting the process play out without getting too involved in it. One thing though, I have to say, the city talks about how much they need housing, and there are other instances where they do projects or they approve projects for the express purpose of housing, and then later those projects change to eliminate housing, and the council or DEDA or whoever actually votes for that to happen, which is really annoying. And there's two examples, recent examples. The Ordine building downtown, Titanium Partners bought that, told the city that they were going to put in residential housing in there, which the city was all for. The city was very excited. Mayor Larson, Emily Larson, did a press conference down there. Lots of city leaders were there. We got an unleashed dog. So I hear a lot about unleashed dogs out here. And there's one. Just wait till we get by this person and dog. It looks friendly enough.
Hey.
Hi, doggy.
Dirty.
They told me there's a lot of unleashed dogs out here.
What's that?
I said they said there's a lot of unleashed dogs out here.
Yeah.
So, what was I talking about? The Ordine building. Everybody was very excited. It was going to be made into residential housing downtown. And then next to the Ordine building, there's a plaza that is a public plaza. A very nice area to sit, landscaped with gardens and stuff. Well, Titanium wanted to buy that, and the city sold it to them for 10% of its assessed value. It's assessed at a couple $100,000, and they sold it to them for 20,000 something, 25,000 or something like that, for the purpose of supporting this project that's going to have residential housing in it. Well, a couple years go by. Titanium opens their Ordine building, except now there's no housing. Now the whole thing is a hotel called Force on Fifth. And that's bad enough. But what's worse is none of those people, none of those leaders at the press conferences, none of the media even points this out, that it used to be it was supposed to be for residential. Like, it's like we're the only ones around here that have any kind of a memory. So that was pretty egregious. The other one is Lakeview Tower that's getting built on what is that? 4th Avenue East in Superior Street. 10-story building. That was supposed to have a certain number of residential units in it. And they actually got a $7 million TIF subsidy from DEDA, where they specified that this certain number of units, we're giving this subsidy because a certain number of residential units are going to be built in it. Well, a couple years go by, project starts getting built. The developer comes back and says, hey, we would like to take 2 floors of those units and actually change them into short-term rentals. And DEDA didn't bat an eye. They just approved that. Got rid of 34 potential units of housing. Changed no other conditions of the development agreement. Still gave them the full subsidy. Didn't even... And no leaders are saying anything about it. It's very annoying. Now when it comes to this thing, transferring the golf course, everybody's talking about, oh, we need housing. A lot of them are those same leaders who just didn't bat an eye, or in fact actively handed over or took votes to hand over what were supposed to be residential units into a more profitable situation for the developer, which is short-term rentals. So there you have my thoughts on that whole situation. This is nice out here. It has been a while since I've been out. Just been busy. Actually, the last one I took on in Amity Park, where I was falling through the creek, kind of chilled me and dampened my enthusiasm for going out for a while, just psychologically. But now I'm back, ready to roll. I don't know how long I'll make this one. It's basically a golf course from my understanding. Oh, I do have some notes on this. Let me see. Leicester Park Golf Course. Established 1931. Funded by wealthy friends of Duluth's first Parks Commissioner, Frederick Rodney Payne. Mayor Samuel Snively hit the first drive on October 2nd, 1931. So what is that? 94 years ago. Is that a disc golf course there? It almost looks like a tee-off area for a disc golf course. Or just a regular tee-off area for a golf course. Oh, I see. I was thinking there was like a brick pad there, but it's actually just a crossbar. Oh, snow gets deep off of those trails. Ed Calland at rest on his beloved Lynx forever. Is he here? That would be odd. Just grab a picture here. Snow's pretty deep. What's really fun, doesn't happen every winter, is you have a bit of a warming spell where the snow gets soft, followed by a deep freeze, in which case all these drifts and everything, oh look at that, another dog off leash, just seems to be the practice here. In which case the drifts freeze solid, and you can just go running around in the woods on top of the snow. When you get a good one of those, that is so much fun. It's fairly rare. I think the last one I saw was, I can't even remember, 2017 or 2018 or something. That was cool. I went out in February after a deep freeze and walked like around Skyline Parkway to Ely's Peak, just zipping through the woods on top of drifts. So I'm always hopeful that that happens. If there's a warming spell followed by a deep freeze, I head out. Somebody told me the Finnish word for that condition, that situation, is hungi, but I don't know how that would be spelled. Oh, somebody left a little gift here. Pretty nice for walking. Chill in the air, but it is mid-December, so I don't know. The thing about unleashed dogs, most of the time they're fine. The owners usually know, but on the other hand, they're animals, and they can just take a dislike to something or be startled by something and react instinctively. Right? Oh, look at that. Is that called skeegering?
That's right.
Skeegering. The dog drags the skier. Yeah, you can't really predict what an off-leash dog is going to do. Whereas if it's on leash and under the control of its owner, you can predict that. It'll stay there. spent a lot of time walking with my kids, and we had a fair number of encounters with unleashed dogs that seemed to not take a liking to my kids. Even a friendly one, if it's big, you know, jumping up on a little kid like that is not welcome. And then my kids, you know, you're like, don't show fear. Yeah, right. They're cringing, hiding, trying to run away, you know. They show fear, obviously. I was hiking out in Glacier Park just a few years ago. I went with my youngest kid. We were walking to get to the trailhead through a some kind of a neighborhood out in the woods, but there was like a pack of stray dogs following us. That was crazy. I had my bear spray in hand in case they got too close, which they were getting close. Threw a few rocks at them. I think they were used to that. Well, I'm not going to walk on this whole course. Maybe I'll go over to that little building there. Oh, look at that. That startled me. Was that the same one I saw at the beginning or a different one? I can't even remember. Eric Forsman, Counselor Eric Forsman, made a comment about how this course is now primarily used for dog owners who don't pick up after their dogs, which is not its highest and best use. It is definitely a nice place to let your dog run around. But unlike a dog park, unlike one of Duluth's several dog parks, there's all kinds of other users out here too. Looks like somebody was breaking trail with their skis here. We had a dog when I was a kid. I think it was a sort of a stray dog that we kind of adopted. Real friendly. Most of the time. But apparently it had schizophrenia. And one day I came home and it didn't even seem to recognize me. It was just glassy-eyed, just snarling, lunging. We had to get rid of that dog. much the worse for wear. What is it even? Has the look of something that was probably original to 1931 or that era. Interesting. Those logs are like, almost look like they were just sourced here. Huh. It's pretty cool. Tumbled down wall there. I bet you this is original to the course. Just grabbing a few photos here. So really this probably shouldn't be on the list anymore since it's being transferred to DITA for the purposes of development. But we're just going by that list that we started with. Once we're done, I'm gonna contact the city, recommend that they update their list because there's a lot of discrepancies on there. That's a pretty cool view. Nice clouds. Winter landscape. Take one-handed pictures. The camera tilts when I hit the button. Just thinking back on all the times walking with my kids, some big dog is jumping on him, and the owner's like, "Oh, don't worry, he's friendly. He just wants to be petted." Like, he's twice the size of my kid. Get that thing out of here. Oh, look at that guy cruising. That looks like fun. Everybody involved there looks like they're having fun. The dog especially. Walk under the trees here, it looks like it's snow is less deep. There's like these drifts aren't like solid, frozen solid, but there's like a harder top crust, which actually makes it more difficult to walk because it's not hard enough to support your weight. It just slightly delays your foot before cracking and breaking through. So it makes it even more difficult than just slogging through soft snow. This would have been a good one to break out the snowshoes for, I think. I don't use them too often, but sometimes, like this, nice and broad areas. Going out and bushwhacking and stuff in the winter with snowshoes that can be pretty problematic because it's hard enough negotiating all the brush and stuff just with boots. Add snowshoes into that. Try going through a tag alder thicket in snowshoes. You want to experience joy. That's nice too. can get quite a workout just coming out here and walking through the untracked snow. It's similar to walking through sand for getting that aerobic workout. Feels nice to be out though. It's been a few days, like I said. Stay inside too long, especially in the winter, and everything just kind of starts clogging up and you get a little dull, get a little lethargic. It's good to get out and just clear all that out. I don't know if this building here is part of the golf course, or I mean, I assume it is. Not some neighboring property. We should be hitting that trail that guy was ski-juring on here for too long. I think it's just right there. I don't know if it's ski-jur or ski-jor. Actually, I didn't even know that existed until a few days ago. I was doing a story on the Gotta Be Superior website, and there was a picture of somebody doing that, and I looked it up, and that story was about the many stock images used on that website, but that particular one, as far as I could tell, was an original shot. Somebody ski-joring in the I guess it would have been the Superior Municipal Forest. Here's that track everybody's using. Much easier going here. Not groomed for skiing. But seems to be used fairly often. I see a lot of older tracks. This must just be a maintenance shed. There is amazingly little space for development in Duluth, just because of the landscape. It's so steep in so many places. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to this being developed, I don't think, for the reasons I mentioned earlier. I can't even figure out where the entrance is. Thought I was going back to it, but this looks a little unfamiliar. Well, we're just about at 30 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. See a pond over here. So, there you go. Park number 9. Lester Park Golf Course. Thanks for watching.